inside a well, life can get tangled. Might the money. Might the money. Might the money. I'm making money, Mike the.
This podcast or broadcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal, health, tax, or professional advice. Always consult a licensed professional for specific advice related to your situation. Thank you. One. All right, this is Ephraim Simmons, another episode of Mic'd Up Money. I'm here with the efficiency expert, Jasmine Johnson, and we're going to be talking about Dress Like the Deal. Business dress that builds trust, confidence, and cash flow. It's time for one. I think that some people are losing deals because their outfit is giving out vibes like I'm still deciding what to do. Do you think that how you dress really affects your money?
I think it depends on what field you're in. Personally, I work right now to my 9 to 5. I work in the construction industry, so it's a very laid back dress code. It's not really determining how much money I make per se, even though I'm in the business department. I do think that if you're an entrepreneur or if you're in a different area where there is a particular dress code, that it can affect your money. As an entrepreneur, people might expect you to dress a little bit more professional, but it just depends on the work setting. For example, if you're going to a business summit, you want to make sure that you're wearing a nice suit and tie, or something that's a little bit more put together and formal. But if you're a plumber, you're not going to be expected to come to every household or every meeting, and you're an entrepreneur, like you have your own plumbing business. You're not going to be expected to come to those places dressed in a suit and tie because you're a plumber. You're expected to be in your work uniform. You're expected to get dirty. You're expected to make your money. Yeah, so I just think it just depends on the field that you're in.
Well, I think it does affect the money because people decide trust fast, and your outfit is a credibility shortcut. In other words, I'm looking at you, and if you're unclear about yourself, if your clothes don't fit, if your clothes are dirty, if your clothes are torn, I may not have the confidence I need to do business with you. And I think that that's one thing that people have to understand when you do business is people have to have some type of trust in you, and they form that trust by the way you're dressed. And then also, dress is a form of power too. A lot of times people don't understand after black people became slaves, after they were slaves and they got free, they used to dress, they call dandy. They used to really be highly dressed. And that was because they wanted to make a statement that they were powerful, that they were together, that they were about their business. And I think that somehow in this modern day, people have lost that concept of the power dress or dressing for success. They believe that they can dress on their own terms, be the own person they want to be, regardless of what field they are. What do you think about that?
I still stand by what I say. It depends on what field you're in. As a business person, I expect people that might want to be a part of my company or that's entrepreneurs to dress in a professional style. Like I said, as a plumber or somebody that's in the trades, or either just somebody that might be like more of an artistic style. I don't expect them to wear a suit and tie to every meeting or to everything that they're doing because that's not their style. I feel like you got to dress according to your brand or what you're trying to pull out to the world because not everybody is a business professional. Some people are more artistic, some people are more hands on, getting dirty. And like, I'm not gonna let somebody in a suit come and fix my freaking faucet. I'm just gonna be honest. You need to have your utility belt on, you need to have your work uniform on, and you need to come over here and you need to be prepared to fix it, especially if you say that's your business. Like, I don't trust, I'm not gonna trust you. That doesn't build credibility with me coming over here in a suit because you're not coming to sell me some. You're coming over here to do a service for your entrepreneurial business.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but I at least expect them to have on a uniform with their company name on it and their personal name. I think that they should look the part, and I think they should have some token that they are in business. Now, if you came over to my house saying you a plumber and you had your pajamas on, I ain't gonna let you in the door.
And that's what I'm saying. It depends on your profession because that person could very well have had other orders that day and they might come with their stuff on. but it might be a little dirty. I'm not gonna say you can't work in my house because of that. I'm gonna say get to work and do what we paid you for. So that's kind of what I'm talking about.
Well, I'm talking about if they came in there and they had pajama pants on and a t-shirt, would you let them in?
I mean, that's common sense. You're not gonna let nobody in your house coming over in pajama pants and a t-shirt. I mean, especially if they're supposed to be doing a job for you, or if they're entrepreneur. I just kind of think you got to lose a little bit of context clues there.
Okay. So what do you think is the business mistake entrepreneurs make with business stress?
I think that they don't prepare themselves for it. So for me, if I know I'm doing a certain type of event, I'm gonna dress according to that event. I'm not gonna have I don't have a bunch of weird clothes in my closet. I don't, and when I say weird, it's just not my style. Not judge anybody that does. I don't have a lot of Daisy Dukes. I don't have a lot of half shirts. I don't have a lot of stuff that's very exposing. My husband say I dress like I'm going to church every time I go out, but I just dress according to what my profession is or how I want people to perceive me as an entrepreneur. I'll be in the slacks with a blouse or a suit or something of that nature or a nice dress. It's not gonna ever be something where people are like, who is that? Why are they even at this business summit, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I understand because I think you have to address according to your buyer's expectations. In other words, if I'm doing financial work with you, I expect for you to be dressed rather conservative, maybe in blues, maybe in grays. I don't expect you to come out in orange.
Well, it just depends. You really can't limit financial people to a certain criteria of dressing. You could very well pass up on a blessing, or you could very well pass up on somebody that actually knows what they're talking about. But all because they dress loud, that might just be a part of their personality, and it could very well be a part of their brand. So I don't prejudge people. You have to come and you have to show me value before I judge and do business with you. Is what I believe.
Well, I guess that's why generational gaps come to play because I'm more oriented toward expectation. And if you don't meet my expectation, I just can't take you seriously. Because if you come out there with an orange suit on and you trying to handle my finances, I think you more of a clown than you are a professional. You can say a whole lot, but they say that your first impression really closes the deal. And you just lost me just by the way you dressed. So I think that for me, they have to be competent, prepared, and intentional when they come to do business. I just can't come in there haphazardly with anything on, looking any kind of way with me.
Well, you can't really judge whether somebody is competent based off what they're wearing. I mean, let's just take the millionaires and billionaires out there, for example, that started these large industries. Bill Gates, he's not going to, from what I've heard and what I've read, he's not dressing flashy, or whatever. He wears the casual colors. And, if you was to see him on the street and you wouldn't even know that he was the face of, the company that he is, but he was an entrepreneur one point in time. I'm pretty sure he wore the neutral colors, but like, I just feel like we can't judge him. We can't judge people based off the way they dress. Not all the time, anyway. Now, if entrepreneur, now you said an orange suit. You wearing a suit, okay, and it might be a nice suit. It might be a nice tailored suit, and that just might be your color for the day or whatever. But if you come in there with like pajamas or something on and you talk about finance, that's different. Or a t-shirt and some random shorts, like that's different than actually dressing professional. Professional wear is very broad. It's not just black, gray, white, tan. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I guess it's that generational divide because, even Mark Zuckerberg, when he was doing his Facebook, at first he used to come with that hoodie on. But then as he went before more congressional hearings, more court cases, now you see him with a suit on, very conservative, dark tone, looking more professional, more toward what he's supposed to look as an executive. Because I think that at first, the way he was dressing, people weren't taking him seriously. Well, let's just move on to the second thing. Do you think you should dress to your business model or you supposed to dress according to Instagram?
When you say business model, you mean?
Okay, so for instance, you do financial work. So, do you think that you should be dressed like you do financials? People should really look at you and feel like the level of dress. I know they shouldn't expect you to come in St. John's all the time, but at the same token, I think that they wouldn't expect you to wear Walmart stuff either. So, I guess the level of their expectation of how you're supposed to dress would be part of your business model.
I guess I get what you're asking. You can dress on a budget, but still look nice. So there's nothing wrong with wearing Walmart to a financial meeting because they sell blazers, they sell the little nice shirt, the collar shirts, and they do sell slacks. It's I think yes, you're supposed to dress on what you're bringing to the table. I guess that's what you're saying. I mean, yeah, dress according to your business model. If I'm a financial person, I'm not going to be wearing hoodies and t-shirts. I guess that's what I'm saying. I'll on casual days I'll probably wear some khakis and a button down, and then on more professional days I'll most likely wear suits. You know. So I guess is that what you're asking?
Well, I think there are three classes of people and their expectations according to the audience ladder. You got budget buyers. They're looking at people who are relatable and they're looking for people who can provide some clarity. You got the mid tier. They want professionalism and polish. And then you got the premium buyers. They want authority, restraint, and precision. And how that looks is, as a consultant, I expect you to have clean layers, structured jacket, blazer, option, sharp shoes, and simple accessories. If you're in trade or service, I expect you to have a branded polo, a quarter zip up, clean work pants, solid boots or shoes, and neat grooming. If you're a creative, I expect for you to have like maybe one signature element, but it should still be professional. You shouldn't come in skinny jeans and stuff like that. What do you wear?
That's a generational thing too, because skinny jeans can in some office spaces and in some areas, skinny jeans can be considered professional if you throw on a blazer and a nice shirt with it and some nice nice shoes. Like it's not a lot of times. Sometimes offices are not always like head to toe slick cut. I guess you would say suits, unless that's the dress code or whatever.
I don't know. I don't think I could take a man walking in skinny jeans seriously. I just can't do it. I see people walking around in ankle beaters. They may call them something else now, but in my area, we call them ankle beaters. And them things clear off. You can stay they're above their feet, above they almost halfway up their leg. I just can't take no one seriously if you can't wear proper fitting clothes. And I couldn't see nobody buying a tailored outfit and it don't fit. I guess there are books like Dressing the Man, where it really tells men how to dress, what type of clothes to wear with different colors, what type of clothes to wear at different events. I think that people should invest professionally in a haberdasher or someone who knows clothes. They would give them predetermined styles and help them to dress for proper occasions. I think that is an investment. And also, I think that people should have color, um, do a color analysis to know what colors look well on you. I've seen people who wear, colors that really don't match them. And I think that you should know what your power color is. Like for me, blue is my power color, and I can almost look like I'm Superman in a blue suit. But, I think that people should, if they're serious about being a professional, they should have a haberdasher. They should have a color analysis, and they should do some research on how to dress for different events.
Yeah, I'm never gonna hire somebody to tell me how to dress. I'm just gonna be honest. But I will do research on the event to see what the dress code is, because I'm pretty well versed on how to dress myself. But everybody's different. Some people just not skilled or trained in that way. So I feel I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and the other part of it is whether the shirt costs $40 or the shirt costs $400, fit your body, and it should fit your body type. And I think that a lot of times people they may go in and see a name brand and believe that that name brand is everything. But if it doesn't fit you correctly, it's really not impressive. It really makes people, I believe, not trust you more because you don't know how to dress.
Yeah, people should dress how they for their body types. That's what I'm saying. A lot of stuff common sense. But if it's not common sense, hire somebody to help you with that. For sure.
When I went to Memphis State, but now it's called University of Memphis. The fashion board president, he approached me and called me a country bumpkin because I was violating all type of things. I had on more than 3 colors. I was wearing belt and suspenders, and I was just all over the place. And so the first thing he told me was, "I don't know who you are. I don't know where you come from, but if you're gonna be taken seriously, you need to learn how to dress." So I spent a whole year learning from him how to dress because I looked like a country bumpkin and people were not taking me seriously. You know how they say accountants and engineers have about 5 or 6 pins in your pocket and have a pocket protector? And he said, "No, you have one, no more than 2 items." He really wanted me to have 1 pin in my shirt pocket. But I had to go through all that grooming because when you find yourself in professional places, it's not the time to try to figure out what you can wear. You got to already have your outfit together. You got to have your suits together. Like a man needs 3 basic suits: a black suit, a gray suit, and a blue suit. But those are things that men need to do, and they need to know how to dress.
Yeah, when I went to University of Memphis, we had a finance futures and finance a summit class. I had already knew how to dress because I came from charter schools, and that's all we pretty much we that's all we pretty much knew. So a lot of stuff got instilled in me when I was in like middle school, high school, and then college just kind of polished everything up for me. And they showed us how to dress properly. They showed us how to do etiquette classes. They showed us how to speak properly, and it was a different world, but it just to me, it comes naturally. It's not like when I got there, I knew what not to wear because a lot of that stuff, if you're studying it when you're studying people that you want to be like when you're younger, you kind of take after their dress styles, you take after their speaking patterns, you take after the way they do things. So when you get to where you want to be, you kind of already have some prior knowledge, and then you just kind of brush it up when you get to that next stage, is what I think.
Yeah. So let's do a new question. What are the central pieces you think every entrepreneur needs?
Essential pieces you think every entrepreneur needs. Everybody needs a suit. Everybody needs blouses or button down shirts like collared shirts. You should always have the slacks. You should always have 2 pairs or 3 pairs of nice dress shoes, whether it be some light pumps, no more than 1 or 2 inches, flats, and for men it's the regular the church dress shoes. And then it's when you do your accessories and stuff, you always have a belt on, especially if it's not if your pants holes requires that. And then you wanna make sure your stuff is tailored to your body. What else? I think that's it.
Yeah. Well, doing proper alterations. I think that it cannot be overstated. A lot of people can buy something off the rack, but it still needs to be tailored to fit you. So you have to go to a good place that does alterations so that it can work for you. And also things need to be properly cleaned and dry cleaned, clean shoes. You might have to have couple pair of black shoe and maybe a brown shoe. Like for instance, one of the ways I can save money is I got some uniforms with some nice polo shirts, and so that they help you save money because if you uniform and you have your name on it and you look official, that can save you some more money. But you need to have at least 10 outfits as a minimum in case you have to go to a conference or something like that, and you need to have them so that you have particular signature looks. Like I said, you have to have your power colors. You got to have sometimes clean, crisp shirts that's been dry cleaned, that you can put on. But you have to always look camera ready for content and meetings in case people are taking pictures because you need to just look like that. And the fabrics you use, they need to be good wearable fabrics. You don't need to have nothing like a polyester or something that may look good for a couple of takes. And then next thing you know, it just looks awful and has little balls on it and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's all about pre-planning, especially if you know if you're going to you gotta know what your destination is, read the agenda, look, make sure I always ask about a dress code, and then plan from there. I always pre-plan whenever I go to different conferences or different events. Like whenever my job has something, or if I'm going to an all women's conference and I'm mingling and networking, I'm not gonna wear heels. I'm gonna wear flats most definitely. So I think it's just pre-planning and making sure that everything makes sense for the type of event that you're going to. And if you know you're going to do business, it's like you're going to do business. If you know you're going to network, dress like you're going to network. If you know you're going to just have fun, dress like you're going to have, make sure you pack stuff that you're going to dress like you're going to have fun. So just dress according to the event.
Okay, we asked a question. How do I stay authentic without dressing down my
I think you still should have your personality in the way you dress. Like we was talking about earlier, you were saying how people's, if you don't take, you're not gonna take somebody seriously in the orange suit. What if that orange suit is their brand? What if that's what they're known by? What if that's something that people's like, oh, I know this person, this lady in the orange suit, she's gonna always, she's known for being top tier of with finances. I think the way you brand has a lot to do with how authentic you can be with your entrepreneurial business. Is what I think.
Well, I was listening to a YouTube short. This particular person was saying that you need to brand yourself more so than your business. And so when people see you, you need to have like a certain look, a default shoes, default jacket, default color palette, and in default grooming routine. Let's just segue for a minute and talk about grooming. Do you think that people should invest heavily in grooming, like hair, nails, haircuts, beards, skincare? You think that's part of what they should invest in also?
I think self-care is what they should invest in because everything you name sounds like keeping yourself up. You don't want to look like somebody that doesn't know how to take care of themselves if you're in any type of industry, any type of business, any type of career. So I think you should invest in taking care of yourself in all areas, especially grooming, especially what you say, hair care, skin care, all this stuff, because I just think that's a part of self-care. I mean, if people see you and you look like you don't really care about how you look and care about yourself, then why would they trust you with what they need you to do as far as the business is concerned? Is my take on that.
Well, I think that you should ask three questions. Would a stranger know what I do by looking at me? Do I look intentional head to toe? And can I move, lead, and sell in this? Because my thing is, if I'm out there, you never know when the opportunity is going to hit you. So that means that I have to look a certain kind of way and I have to be able to move like I need to. I know it's not all about the clothes, but then clothes is a strategy. I was asking chat under your favorite AI tool, is dress a weapon? And it says, yes, dress is a weapon. And how you carry yourself and look does make a statement about yourself at all times. And it can be used to either to intimidate people if needed, because if you look like you're about your business and you look like you are ready to do business, and for some people, you are a threat, mainly because they don't take you seriously, but they have to take you seriously because you look serious. Would you agree or
Yep.
not agree?
I agree with you.
Okay. Does your outfit really say what you're worth? Do you think that you should focus more on name brands, or do you think you should just make sure your clothes are clean and fitting?
The second option is obvious. Make sure your clothes are clean and fitting. What are you dressing name brand if you're not a fashion designer, you're not trying to get people's attention, or if I don't understand the whole concept of name brand and stuff anyway, because I can shop at Walmart and look just as good as somebody that's wearing any of these high end brands out here. I'm not gonna name any because this could get back, but I can shop at Walmart and look just as well, and my clothes might even look better or fit better, you know, than that. I just think you should just focus on looking clean, being comfortable, and then and when I say comfortable, I mean comfortably professional, comfortable in house shoes and a bunny. But looking clean, looking well put together, and looking professional, I think that's all you need to worry about. I don't care about a name brand as long as I look good in it. I don't see the need for it.
Okay. Well, basically, when you're considering outfits, you got three things to consider. You got when you have your deal days, when you having your client meetings, your presentations, and your networking with intent, and then you have your camera days. That's when you're going to be doing content interviews, podcasts, and doing lives. And then you got your build day when you're doing operations, planning behind the scenes, but you want to be comfortable but presentable. Those kind of days you got to look at, when you go out. And I guess dressing by your schedule is very important because if you got a mix, client meetings and interviews, you got to know what type of strategy you need to have for those. But again, I like having the haberdasher because one of the things that the haberdasher did for me was he was able to take my suit, tell me what shirt to wear, what tie to wear, tell me when to wear these and how to wear these. But I guess that's a generational thing. But I think they do have some apps that would look at you and it would build you a wardrobe for you and send you clothes.
Yeah, they do. And you can go in there and kind of design what you can take a picture of your body and it'll send suggestions on what it thinks looks the best on you.
Right, right. But I like a profession because sometimes when you go and buy clothes, if you do have someone there, they can give you little things like, hey, you look good in this. Hey, you need that. Or they have a professional seamstress or person who does alterations so they can make it look more professional and fit your body better. Because I think that one of the things that people have to understand, the higher you go, the more people want you to look good. So, and you might have to have a kit with you, for lint rollers, backup shirts, oil block wipes to make sure your face is not shining too much. Make sure you have a brush and a comb. And don't forget the breath mints because you hate
Yep.
to be somewhere with bad breath.
Yep, I totally agree. I was just thinking, yeah, you're right. I was thinking about Adam Sandler. Like he dresses kind of how he wants to, but he's like multimillionaire, you know. But his career is more based on like comedy and acting and all the other good jazz. But I'm pretty sure he has businesses lined up on him because all actresses and artists and everybody in that industry, they do have some type of business that they own or have. You know, it really just depends because he's really popular. He's really famous. But you'll see him in a hoodie and some random color shorts on the street. Like he doesn't care what people think. Um, as far as he dresses, because when you got money, who cares? You know?
Well, you had to get to that point because I was telling people, you go into the white culture, a lot of men do not have facial hair, especially your news broadcasters. A lot of people didn't recognize that, or realize that until I told them. But in their culture, if you have a beard, mustache, or facial hair, you cannot be trusted. So you see a lot of the old ones do not have beards and mustaches. And you can go on the news and see how many people have a beard and mustache. But I think part of the culture is to wear what you want to wear, you have to be at a certain level where they say F you money. You got to have that type of money because if you don't have that type of money, you got to conform and play the game. And a lot of times I think sometimes they think they can do what they want to and make a difference, but they can't do that. But I'm going to ask you a question. This is more in your age range. What about dressing like a metrosexual? Do you think that's good business attire? A good business dress?
I don't even know what a metrosexual is.
Okay, so there's someone who they invest heavily in their appearance, excessive grooming, excessive fashion, excessive skincare. Pretty much almost to the degree is more feminine than it is male. So
So are you asking it just based off how a man does it?
yeah. That's a term for a man that dresses um extremely to the extreme. I mean,
And when you say extreme, do you mean just like feminine? You mean feminine?
close to feminine. They, I know I heard some women say that they could not um date somebody because they spent more time getting ready than they did. They might even wear makeup.
Okay, so to debunk a lot of stuff that you for what you're asking me, my husband takes longer to get ready than me. That don't mean he feminine. That don't mean he gay. That don't mean none of this stuff. Like he's 100%, heterosexual all the way. And I know, and my stepdad does the same thing. With my mom, like he takes forever to get ready, but that's just because they like to look nice. They don't do the makeup. They don't do all that extra stuff, but they do like to stay groomed. They do like to look nice. So I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. As far as metrosexual, and I think you're just leaning more towards the homosexual side of it. I mean, personally, I'm a Christian. I believe what I believe. I believe in the Bible, but I think people dress how they want to dress. I mean, like you said, a woman wouldn't want to date a man that spend most of the time getting herself together. Okay, there should be a common ground there. So you don't want to date somebody that's taking so long getting herself together. And I guess I'm assuming that a metrosexual dress style is a straight person, then don't date that person. I mean, it's all about, to me, it's all about preference. If that upsets you, like don't be with that person. If you can find somebody that doesn't take as long, that's kind of standard, or you can find somebody that just doesn't care about their dress looks at all. I mean, it's all about preference to me personally. Because I wouldn't be with somebody that didn't spend time grooming themselves and making themselves look nice and overall, I guess not to the middle. I've never heard that before. I'm just gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Not not to that extreme. At least you need to look presentable. I
Well,
guess that's my take on it.
what about men who carry purses and have excessive earrings on, and they want to be your financial advisor, and they got a purse and they have earrings on, and
I
they have ankle beaters that come all up their calves. Will you take them seriously?
I don't. I probably not, but I'm not gonna prejudge you. You might know more than what I know. Show me value. Show me the numbers. Show me the statistics. Show me your data. Show me real life stuff. I mean, because you could be highly rated and you just might just be weird. I mean, I can't prejudge somebody for being weird. I'm just gonna be honest with you. And it might be weird in my opinion, but it might be normal for you. So I'm not gonna I'm just gonna be honest, I'm not gonna prejudge anybody. Would I trust them right off? No, I'm gonna be like, so I'm gonna look at a few more options. I'm gonna shop around a little bit and shoot. We talked about ethics on one episode and people stealing money from you. The same person that you might be brushing off because they wearing earrings in a purse could be a person that's trying to help you, and somebody in a suit and behind the tie and looking professional could just be trying to take your money. So you gotta sit there and you gotta have a gift of discernment. You gotta really sit down and talk to people and see where their aim is. I've seen both sides. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Well, there are both sides. There are people who I feel are too polished, and I don't trust them because they're too polished. Meaning that, okay, so you're trying to make me feel like I can trust you because you're well put together, but you don't look human anymore. You don't have any flaws on you. And then there are people who look like the cat drug them in. They may know what they're talking about. They may have a lot of experience. You can do business with them, but basically, when anybody else go with you, you have to explain to the person they're weird, but they're good. And so those are different conversations. I think that we have outliers on the good side. You have outliers on the bad side. But again, you got to really go by referrals. You got to really go by proven results. And you have to really go by what you feel comfortable with. Because, if somebody was a good person, they were real competent, but they had extremely bad breath and bad grooming, I don't think I can do that. I have to try to find somebody better that I can really talk to and feel comfortable around, because to me, like you said, the personal grooming should be part of your professional setup.
Feel fair.
But we're about to wrap up this episode. Do you have any last comments you want to make about this?
I think it's a good thing that you have your generation and I have my generation on this because we just got two different perspectives on as people in general, and the I guess the quote unquote, not judgment I would say, but perspectives on how things should be. And neither are right, neither are wrong. I just think they both are opinions and they both can be respected from either standpoint. But yeah, that's all I got.
Well, this may be a very controversial and something that people may want to respond to. So, as you see our comments, you see our posts, please let us know how you feel about business dress. Do you think that I'm right? Do you think that Jasmine's right, or do you have your own opinion?
I mean, I'm not right about everything, but you feel free to say whatever you gotta say.
Well, my thing is it's all about having presence, and you want to make sure that you have good presence, not the presence that people want to laugh at. You're gonna have off days when you do business dress, and some things may catch you off guard. The opportunity may just present itself out of hand, but I kind of like the thing like Albert Einstein and a couple more people. In one era, I wear blue suits every day. And the only thing I changed up was my shirt and my tie. But basically, I wore the same blue suit. It was like my uniform. I loved that period of my life because it made life so simple, because I knew I was wearing a blue suit. And I already had my shirt and my tie picked up by my haberdasher. So I already knew what I was going to wear. But I felt comfortable because, it was predictable, and it didn't take a lot of time and effort for me to keep picking that out. But I think everybody needs to have something where they feel presence with. But I like blue because it was my power color. And again, we know we talk about business dress. We're talking about it because it's very controversial. We want to hear what you have to say about it. Go to TikTok, go to Instagram, go to YouTube, go to Facebook. Let us know what you think about it. Again, this is Ephraim Simmons, the efficiency expert. No, I'm not the efficiency expert. I'm the business strategist. You are the efficiency expert. What is your name again?
Jasmine Johnson.
Jasmine Johnson. This is Ephraim Simmons, and your business strategist. We are coming from Mike Dub Bunny, and we're going to conclude this. Please look for us on all social media platforms. Please, again, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We're so happy that you're listening to us today, and we out of here.
That's a wrap for this week on Mic'd Up Money. Don't forget to grab your free tools at micdupmoney.com. Follow us at Mic'd Up Money on all social platforms, and keep taking your next right money move. Until next time, stay reset, stay ready, and stay mic'd up.